What's up, everyone? I'm Jenny.
And I'm Jessie.
You're listening to Milkshakes and Ghosts. Now, I have been waiting for 2 weeks.
Waiting for what?
Waiting to find out what topic you'll be covering on this podcast. Hello?
You know what they say, good things come to those who wait.
Okay, Jessie, I've waited too long.
You sure?
Yes, man!
Are you ready for me to tell you what I'm covering now?
Yes! Can you just tell me already?
I will, but first, what you drinking?
I am drinking butter pecan milkshake.
Does it have coffee in it?
Maybe just
Making the milkshakes by putting coffee in it. Every single episode, you always have coffee in your milkshakes.
Not true. I'm making it better, man.
That's just gross.
Okay, so you think this is gross. Well, let me hear what's in your cup. What are you drinking today, Jessie?
I made myself a strawberry and blueberry milkshake.
That's different. Usually, we put something like that on our fruit smoothies, not in a milkshake, girl.
I use dairy-free blueberry ice cream and strawberry.
Is that the ice cream I just ordered a couple of days ago online?
Yeah.
How is it?
It's okay. It's not the greatest flavor. It tastes a lot better as a milkshake, though. I added a bit of dairy-free strawberry ice cream and a couple of real strawberries to throw in the mix.
Yeah, it doesn't sound horrible, I guess.
It's not.
Okay, you can finally tell me what you're podcasting about, right? Because I've been waiting to hear it. I feel like I've gotten older waiting to hear it.
I mean, you definitely are old, but...
Don't you start with me. Don't you start with me. I'm not that old.
Well, I was inspired by your story of the UFOs and the story of Betty and Barney Hill. So I decided to do, drumroll please, the real story of the fourth kind.
Oh my gosh, from the movie. Is that from the movie? Okay, from 2009 movie?
Yeah, the 2001 one.
With Mila Jovovich, if I'm saying that right. She is just beautiful and wonderful, and I think she's an incredible actress.
Yeah, that's the one, but I gotta tell you something. I'm prettier than her, okay?
Of course you are, baby. Of course you are. You are adorable.
I thought you were gonna say, no, you're getting old.
No, you're not getting old. Apparently, you say I'm getting old,
But
which...
it's true.
No, it's not. No. Mm-mm.
You're like...
Don't you say my age on this podcast. We are shutting this down today. If you mention my name, it gets shut down today. There's a lot of people who listen to this podcast who's born in the 1900s, okay?
But
it wasn't that long ago.
You're like all the way back in the 1900s.
No, I am not.
Maybe 1800s.
Oh, gosh.
200.
Okay, I'm about to shut this whole podcast down. You better stop.
Now, let's get back to talking about the fourth kind.
Okay, my favorite topic right now, because I absolutely love the movie and the true story behind it. You know, I've read a lot of books and documentaries regarding aliens and alien abductions, so I'm very fascinated to hear the truth behind this story, because honestly, I don't know too much about the actual facts behind the story. I just know the movie had the footage of reenactment with the real footage side by side, and that fascinated me.
That's why I'm covering it.
Okay already. So, Jessie, come on, let's roll with it. I'm ready to hear this story, and I'm so excited. I'm really excited for this one.
I told you it'd be worth the wait. Now, hold on to your seats, your children, and your sanity. You may just get abducted.
Beam me up.
I totally did not steal that line from you. Okay, now let's get back to the story. So, in a small town on the west coast of Alaska, there was a string of disappearances. In 2005, the FBI was brought in to investigate. The victims were largely Native men traveling to the town from smaller villages, according to the Anchorage Daily News. As rumors circulated, tourists began to consider Nome, Alaska, dangerous. Local officials released a list of 20 unexplained disappearances dating back to the 1960s. The FBI investigated 24 of the cases. They determined that alcohol consumption and the town's harsh climate were the actual causes of people falling off the map. In some instances, missing persons are thought to have stumbled off a cliff and drowned in the freezing waters of Snake River.
I've heard that Alaska is a very dangerous place, not because of aliens, but because of the elements that play a key factor in people disappearing. So that I know is true.
You're right, Mom. Nome, Alaska can get very cold in the winter. Temperatures can drop to I think negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. The average of the coldest day in the year in Nome is around negative 17, which is crazy.
That is way too cold. I could never live there. I hate the cold. I absolutely hate it.
I'd pick the beach over any snowy day.
Agreed, girl. Agreed.
Nome, Alaska has a dark and evil history. The mysterious disappearances of residents in Nome, Alaska between the 1960s and 2004 sparked nationwide intrigue and inspired a major motion picture. I'm sure you heard of The Fourth Kind.
Yes, I have. I have heard of that movie. That is the movie that I love. It's one of my favorites.
For those of you listening who haven't seen The Fourth Kind movie, I'm going to be discussing it and ruining the plot. If you want to watch the movie first and come back to our podcast, now's the time to do so. Officially, The Fourth Kind is a pseudo-documentary, which is a fancy word of saying it's based on a true story. However, I have some bad news about that, Mom.
Stop right now. Do not tell me this is not real.
So, I never researched about this, and I always thought the story was real. Me and you both agreed. And I did 3 weeks worth of research. I can personally say the script and film are entirely fictional.
No. Oh, man. No, Jesse, you ruined it for me. I thought all this time the movie was real.
Yep, there was no low-key alien invasion, at least not with this story. And the main character in the movie, Dr. Abigail Tyler, doesn't even exist.
Oh my gosh, I feel so deceived. Hollywood done did me dirty, girl. What?
The movie isn't even a real portrayal of the residents in Nome. There's no indigenous characters in the film.
I never knew that. That's really interesting and actually really good research done on your part, Jesse. I'm glad you pointed that out.
So, before we get into this episode, I just want to let you guys know that I'm feeling a bit under the weather because I am sick right now. So, if I sound a little congested, it's just because I'm sick.
It's okay. I think you're doing a great job, and I know that you really put your all into this episode, so I know I appreciate you being here, and I'm sure everyone else appreciates you being here, Jesse.
Now, let's get into the movie of The Fourth Kind. The film explored the fourth kind of an alien abduction involving UFO events centered on human abduction. It's a horror movie disguised as a documentary, convincingly presents itself as a true story through the use of false, real footage and interviews. The Fourth Kind was written and directed by Alden Austin Sammy. The movie was released on November 6, 2009. The movie stars Mila Jovovich as Dr. Abigail Tyler, a psychologist assorting her inner turmoil while attempting to guide her patients to a place of mental comfort. Here's the best part. Dr. Abigail Tyler isn't played by Jovovich alone. Charlotte Mochard plays the same character, but she's presented in what The Fourth Kind claims to be real-life footage. It's fiction, of course, but the film is so carefully crafted, pairing obvious dramatization with fake documentary footage.
I thought the footage was real all these years. I really, really do feel deceived now.
Sorry to disappoint you, but it's all fake.
Okay, I will admit this. It's really well done. The footage is placed side by side in the movie, so it really does feel real.
Let me discuss the different classifications of alien abductions.
Jesse, I didn't realize there were different classifications of alien encounters.
There absolutely is. A close encounter of the first kind refers to any eyewitness sighting of a UFO. The second kind deals with the UFO events that have caused or left behind alleged physical effects, crop circles, scorched earth, and changes in animal behavior. Then, there are close encounters of the third kind, which relate to UFO events by life forms who are reportedly seen in or near unidentified flying objects. Finally, we have the fourth kind, Close encounters of the fourth kind are UFO events centered on human abduction.
That is very, very good information. I'm really glad you're sharing this today.
I'm going to give a brief synopsis of the film of the fourth kind. The setting takes place in Nome, Alaska. Dr. Abigail Tyler is a psychologist helping patients to unearth their trauma. Through hypnosis, she begins to notice an unsettlingly high number of similarities between her patients' experiences, suggesting a sinister link between the people of Nome. This is where the side-by-side fake footage comes into play. Throughout the movie, you see split screens of reenactment, and then on the other side of the screen, they try to sell it as real footage. Dr. Abigail Tyler recounts the true events that occurred in Nome, Alaska. This movie takes all the key elements of a documentary film, archival footage, interviews, informative text overlays, and so on. From start to finish, the fourth kind is presented as an entirely true story in the most convincing manner.
Oh man, all these years I really thought it was based on fact.
I'm really sorry to disappoint you. Now, there are real-life disappearances in Nome, Alaska that I will be discussing. Alaska has the highest number of missing persons in the United States of America. Every year, 163.76 people out of 100,000 people go missing. The reason that Alaska has such a high rate has to do with Alaska's triangle. Since the 1970s, more than 20,000 people have gone missing. I said missing my notes. The notes we have right here are like misspelled, so missing.
That's not my problem. That's your problem. You're the one that did the notes, not me. So,
Since the 1970s, more than 20,000 people have gone missing in this region and have never been found. This includes plane wreckage or equipment for those hiking in the area. Rescue efforts try to do the best they can to find missing people when something is reported missing. Weeks of rescue efforts go into trying to find the lost in the Alaska Triangle, with little to no success. The inability to find anyone who has gone missing in the Alaska Triangle has led to various conspiracy theories about what happened to those who vanished without a trace. While some theories may seem a bit out there, others are steeped in the legend. Until any of them are disproven, there is no telling what exactly is causing the disappearances in the Alaska Triangle. Some theories that have been used to explain the disappearances in the Alaska Triangle include energy vortex, aliens, Kushtaka, and Mother Nature. Given that no one has ever survived after contact has been lost in Alaska Triangle, it is hard to determine just what the cause of disappearances is. Perhaps one day someone will be lucky enough to survive and can recount their harrowing tale to shed light on why such a massive number of people have gone missing.
okay, so I'm siding with Mother Nature on this one. To me, that's the reason why people go missing in Alaska.
Yeah, the elements on Alaska, they play a key role. Alaska is like freezing and it snows, and ice can hide a lot of things. I really do want to discuss real witness accounts I found online regarding UFO sightings in Alaska.
Okay, so that's exciting. Now we're getting somewhere, so tell me everything, Jessie.
Well, on July 9th, 1947, 3 teenage Anchorage girls, Judy Kerr, Vicki Novick, and Nancy Green, claimed to see an unusual white disc-shaped object where it streaked across the sky. I meant to say sky, guys. I meant to say sky.
Oh, gosh.
Well, it streaked across the sky and disappeared into the south. According to the girls, the unidentified object traveled at great speed and was moving faster than ordinary planes. The girls also said that it was smaller than any fighter plane and not a weather balloon, which they were familiar with since they were all daughters of servicemen and passed the time watching the base flight operations. These 3 girls had made the first documented UFO sighting in Anchorage history. On November 18, 1986, a Japanese Boeing 747 cargo aircraft was followed for nearly an hour by an unidentified flying object. The crew witnessed 2 objects while flying over the eastern Alaska. As the objects got closer to the plane, the cabin was lit up and filled with a strange heat. As these two objects flew away, a much larger disc-shaped craft emerged from the darkness and started to follow the 747. Captain Tarachi contacted Anchorage Air Traffic Control and requested a change of the course. The UFO followed the plane despite any of the captain's maneuvers. All the data, including ground radar that captured the unidentified craft, was collected and presented at a meeting with the FBI and the CIA. After reviewing all of the material, the government official decided that this was the first radar recording of a UFO. However, they insist that their meeting never took place.
Jesse, you're blowing my mind with all this information. I researched information regarding aliens and UFOs, since we've been talking about them for the last, 3 episodes this is going on. But I learned so much more from hearing you talk today.
I worked really hard looking into all of this. I do have a fun fact about Nome, Alaska.
Oh yeah, what's that?
The movie Balto is loosely based on real events that took place in Nome, Alaska.
Really? I have seen that movie and I absolutely love it. It's adorable.
Yeah, I think I've seen that movie with you. Well, in the winter of 1925, a deadly outbreak of diphtheria in the remote port of Nome, Alaska threatened the lives of 10,000 plus living in the area. Children were especially at risk.
Oh man.
It's alright. Don't side-eye us.
Lord.
He's gonna haunt us. A relay of 20 teens was assembled to deliver the necessary medicine through the dangerous elements of Alaska. Amazingly, in just 5.5 days, the life-saving serum was delivered to 6 patients in Nome. I know that story has nothing to do with the aliens, but I stumbled upon it while I was looking up the alien encounters in Nome, Alaska, so.
It's a really good fact. I'm glad you mentioned it. So thank you for sharing. That was amazing. And hopefully your dog can stop passing gas in our pod lab, Jesse. This is nasty. Please take Cooper out. I can't breathe in here.
He's been passing out the whole time.
What is wrong with him today? What did you feed him? Oh my gosh.
He gotta go poo-poo. I gave him fiber.
Okay. I'm literally going to have to stop our podcast and kick him out. It smells really bad in here.
Oh my God, Cooper.
All right, so since this episode has been all about aliens today, I would like to give a big shout out to Leslie and Stephen Shaw. They're authors of Who They Are and What They're Up To. This book offers answers to the big questions about UFOs. Leslie reached out to us. According to her, their whole family have experienced paranormal happenings. Their documentaries on YouTube and their book can be purchased on Amazon. I will link it all in the show notes.
I already have their book in my Amazon cart, actually. I can't wait to purchase and read it. Well, you purchase and read it with me.
Of course. It's always me purchasing something, but we will read it together. It'll be exciting.
Listen, I don't got money!
Well, hopefully you will start being able to make money from podcasting and from YouTubing so that you can have a college fund, a car fund, and have a little bit of side money to purchase things on Amazon, such as all the books from all the authors we know out there. That would be great.
Guys, like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe.
Now, I want to get back to the serious subject of people going missing in Alaska. So you have to keep in mind those people were loved by someone, whether or not that person was brother, sister, wife, husband, mother, father. They were special to someone who really cared about them. In remembrance to some of the many, I am going to list a few names out of respect for the seriousness of the matter. I'd like to apologize in advance if I do not pronounce these names correctly, because
as you notice, we don't really pronounce stuff right on this podcast. We're trying, though.
Purvish Adeli, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but 35 years old. Albert Scott, 36 years old. Mary Ann Alexi, 33 years old. David Allen, 36 years old. Gary Allison, 42 years old. Cora Anderson, 52 years old, William Arnold, Owen Asher, Early Ashworth, Curtis Ayuluk, Christopher Beasley, Joseph Balderas, Roy Banhart, Eric Beehler, Pamela Beeler, Richard Bennett, Sandra Bennett, Skylar Bentley. This list is really long. I'm going to place this list on our Patreon page. The most talked about missing people cases are more recent than the names I just listed. In 2004, Eric, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Apakatiki vanished. In June 2016, Joseph Balderas, 36, vanished without a trace. Just 4 years later, in August 2020, I'm sorry if I mispronounced this, Florence Opaliguk, I'm so sorry if I said that wrong, which was 33, an Alaskan native, also went missing though.
We will place the full list on our Patreon page along with the information on the proper Alaskan authorities to contact. Our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to the loved ones of those missing people. I'm looking at the list right now, and Jessie didn't say all the names because, like she said, it's a really long list. I'm actually getting a little teary-eyed because these are people. And like she said earlier, this is someone's loved one. Moms, dads, daughters, sisters, uncles, aunts, cousins, friends. These people were special to someone, and they've been missing. Not reported for, no one knows what happened to them. I don't know what's worse, knowing something bad happened to your loved one or not knowing at all. To me, I haven't experienced this to this extent, but I think I would lose it if I didn't know. It's the not knowing. I'm sure all those loved ones that are missing, their family members are still hoping. They're holding on to that hope for them to come home. So like I said, we're going to post it on our Patreon page. If you or someone you know has heard anything regarding to those people that we will list, contact the proper Alaskan authorities. We will have everything up on our Patreon page to do so.
While there is no world in which the information and stories told in the movie of the fourth kind are true or even based on real stories, the phenomena itself is quite real. The existence of UFOs are not controversial. The simple study of unidentified flying objects is something the U.S. government is involved in. Whether or not those objects are directed or related to alien life is another question, and well, that, my friends, is the story of the fourth kind.
Thank you so much for that, Jessie. I've learned a lot today. I really did. And thank you all for listening. If you would like to see all of our paranormal investigations, check out our YouTube page. We post weekly videos every Monday of all our spooky investigations.
We're podcasters by day and paranormal investigators by night. We don't just talk about the paranormal on podcasts, we actually go to the locations we discuss.
We're on YouTube, so you gotta check it out because, every place that we investigate is pretty spooky, pretty haunted, and pretty cool. So our YouTube handle is @MilkshakesGhost.
Make sure to punch that subscribe button in the...
If you would like a chance to tell your paranormal story or have a cool haunted location you want us to talk about, please write in. Our email is milkshakesghost@gmail.com.
We're also on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Twitter, and Patreon.
If you would like to become a Patreon member, subscribe to our Patreon page at patreon.com/milkshakesandghost. I will link it in the show notes for you. Patreon members receive really cool benefits, behind-the-scenes footage of when we're podcasting, bloopers, which, trust me, you guys, there's plenty of bloopers because we mess up all the time, videos of our daily lives, free merch, and so much more. Here at Milkshakes and Ghosts, we give all our Patreon members shirts, tumblers, and keychains. Our team is working around the clock, and they produce new merch every month. It's really cool. We also offer other packages with all kinds of cool perks. MNG VIP package is the most popular right now. We have the social media promotion package as well and sponsorship. You definitely want to keep up with the Patreon page to receive all of these cool benefits and so much more. Plus, you'll get full access to the miniseries Whispers.
Whisper is a show I wrote, directed, and acted, and produced. It's a spooky treat you don't want to miss. Now, let's give a shout out to our Patreon members. Our VIP Patreon member of the month is drumroll,
Mr. E!
From Special Delivery Show. Make sure to subscribe to the Special Delivery Show. His show brings interviews to a whole new level. Special Delivery Show can be found wherever you get your music or podcast from.
Make sure to subscribe to the Special Delivery Show. Okay, so now I'm going to list the rest of the MNG VIP members, which have become a big part of our Milkshakes and Ghosts family. This includes the paranormal duo, Laura and Joanne, Ricky M, Bruce the All Spooky, Harmony, Joan of Arc, The Dark Side, Ronald H, Joe Santana, Myra Morales from That's So Spooky, Jada Kamar H, Tony S from The Truth Is Out There, Nadia and Edward, and Carl and Becca.
Thank you all so much for being Patreon members. We appreciate each and every one of you. And remember, keep drinking milkshakes
And keep being spooky!
Spooky season.